Sicily is magical, complex, and so addictive. In this video, we're going to tell you a little bit about why we fell in love with Sicily.
Get ready for a feast for your eyes, for sure.
So what makes Sicily so special? Where do I begin? Majestic beauty that takes your breath away. Towns off the beaten path that harken you back to a long bygone era. Some places are even frozen in time. Sicily is an outdoor museum chronicling over 2,000 years of history. It's a land in the crossroads of multiple cultures and continents. And each left its mark on not only what it means to be a Sicilian, but also its cuisine.
Oh, take a look at that pasta alla norma.
Cacocciole d'Olorso, queste sono cacocciole d'Olorso, carciofa catanese, violetta catanese, da chi cerca ogni carciofa è una idea.
It's a very cool sign with all the Naxos names in Greeks, in Latin, in Arab, in Norman, and even Sicilian.
Sicily is a land of simplicity. Imagine a time without social media.
Sto cucinando.
Che cosa?
Una minestra.
Minestra?
Sì, sì.
Con basilico?
Con tutto. Con tutte le verdure.
Tutti verdura locale?
Sì, sì.
Sicily is a land of juxtapositions, of extreme contrasts. Sea, sun, mountains, volcanoes. Young and old.
Salvatore.
Salvatore.
Sì.
Fatto barca.
Urban and rural. Mafia and anti-mafia. There are endless legends, myths, mysticism, and mystery that keep you wanting more.
Don't be angry. Life is short. Don't forget it. Shut up, jealous. It's a message to the other owner. So, non t'arrabbiare. La vita è breve e non si deve dimenticare. Taci, invidioso.
Sicily is a land where culture and tradition are respected.
This one's dedicated to everyone who works on the farms. Now, here's the main part of the fish market. Look at the guys up there, just observing the scene. There's something so robust, so alive.
Sicily is markets that are filled with seasonal 0-kilometer foods that nourish your body and soul. A robust and colorful atmosphere. Sicily gets in your blood, and it's a love affair unlike any other. So, what attracted you to Sicilia Bella? That was quite an experience putting that video together. I went back all the way to 2014 looking at our archives, and I became a little bit emotional just thinking about all the places that we visited here in Sicily. And, you know, words and pictures, they just don't do it justice because you just have to come and experience Sicily for yourself.
For me, watching the video work that she did, which was spectacular, is even better if you have a nice cup of coffee and put some anisette, or in my case, Pernod in it. It gets better and better, believe me, on a cold winter's day.
Ching ching.
Ching ching, Joy.
So I have to tell you, some of the videos that you saw were from, as I said, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I was thinking, wow, all the places that we have gone to. You know, we did that video, 50 places we visited only in 2022. I think we need to do another one because there were so many little out-of-the-way towns that are not touristy. They're really off the beaten path that we have gone to. Of course, they're all under Explore Sicily.
Watch the first 6 minutes of this video again, because really, she did a great job on catching all the flavors of Sicily, all the things, the emotions. That was a very emotional video. When she first showed it to me, the rough cuts, I says, whoo, we've done all that? And really? It just blew me away.
I'm curious, and I asked this earlier, what made you guys fall in love with Sicily? What is it about Sicily that makes you happy, that keeps you coming back? You know, I've said this before in 2014 when I first came here to Sicily, it really got into my bloodstream. Remember when we used to go back to the States, because what we used to do is do 7 months here and 5 months in the States. When it was time to leave, we were so sad. And then in the United States, when it was time to come back, we had a countdown, remember? 10 days to go, 5 days to go, back to Sicily.
It's not even close. What we feel on a daily basis here, it's really a privilege, in my view, to be able to do and present to you this magnificent island. Just it's beyond words.
I feel grateful. The word I want to say is grateful that I get to come here and bring you these videos. And even if I don't go out and get fresh videos, I know that in my archives we have a lot of videos that we haven't used that. So it's good to do that.
You know, I'm feeling a little warm
warm
and fuzzy right now.
On that note, let me tell you guys that we are very excited that our Sicilian Project, which is our non-profit registered both in the United States and in Italy, our classes will be starting in Acitrezza. Thanks to Stefania, the mayor of Acitrezza, we are able to get 40 plus students. So take a listen to my conversation with the mayor, and then Alfred shows you where the classes will be held. Here we are with the mayor of Acitrezza. We are excited to start the Sicilian Project. E perché questo progetto importante?
Perché imparare l'inglese è importante per tanti motivi. Prima nell'ambito lavorativo, soprattutto conoscere la lingua inglese ormai è importantissima, secondo anche nella comunicazione, nei viaggi, quindi per noi è una cosa importantissima.
It's very important for them, for the English language, also because it's the language of work and also communication. Perché per bimbi ora è più importante del tempo passato?
perché bisogna, per quello che ti ho detto, io per esempio non so parlare inglese e questa è una cosa gravissima, soprattutto perché come ti dicevo ho un bed and breakfast e non ho difficoltà a comunicare. Oggi è importante per i ragazzini da 6 anni a 14 anni perché imparano bene questa lingua e quindi avranno un futuro.
He doesn't speak English and he has a B&B, so it's a very great problem, and it's very important for kids 6 to 14 to have this knowledge. Noi siamo molto felici per questa opportunità.
Noi invece ringraziamo voi per averci dato questa opportunità, tant'è vero che quando ce l'avete proposto io ero felicissimo, davvero, e tant'è vero che appena 2 giorni dopo aver lanciato l'idea di questa iniziativa ci sono subito iscritti 40 bambini, quindi per la felicità sia degli stessi bambini ma anche dei genitori, quindi grazie e a voi.
Thank you very much. He's very grateful, and immediately after we called him and notified him, he got our 40 students. Grazie mille.
Grazie a voi.
Ciao.
I want to show you the learning environment for our class in Architrezza that is scheduled to start on the 28th of January. This is the view from the classroom, the fabled rocks of Architrezza. And here is the classroom. We're going to configure this so that we have 2 classes of 20 kids. Can you believe it? We're oversubscribed. We have a total of 40 students. And going up that stairs over there is another classroom. So we're going to be off to the races. This is Villa Fortuna in Architrezza. Downstairs is the public library. So this is our new home.
Alfred, it's incredible to think that we come right out of the gates post-COVID with 40 plus students. I want to ask you, we haven't told this story in a long, long time. What made you start the Sicilian Project?
Well, first of all, this program that we're running today and others that we're going to be running this year, Esther, is due to the stewardship of our president, Giovanni Lanza from Texas, and a wonderful board of directors that we've created.
We've got a great board.
We've got a great board who give lots of input, and, we're the bow, but they're the arrow. We get financing from hundreds of individual donors, from €10 to $500 or even more, to put on these programs, and we have a full slate of programs for this coming year, and we're so thankful about it.
So why'd you start the Sicilian Project?
It actually started from the generous donation of a fellow from Vermont by the name of Steve Carboni, who had read one of my books, and I had written a chapter on, a whimsical chapter, if I had $1 million, what would I do with it? And the answer was I'd open up English language schools here in Sicily. And the reason is because generally speaking, the level of instruction, especially if you go into the inner parts of Sicily, is not that good, and lots of teachers actually speak with a very thick Sicilian accent, which doesn't do the students any good when they're trying to compete in the international marketplaces. So anyways, he sent a large donation to me.
Let me just add one more thing.
Sure.
Not only that, they also focus a lot on grammar instead of
Yes,
conversation.
Yes, they do. And he sent a large donation, so what I did was I started a nonprofit, formed a board of directors. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, a charity, so when you do send a donation, you can write it off. And now, over 1,200 students later that we've offered programs to since its inception, it's thriving, and I'm very happy for it. And so are all the directors.
We are very, very happy,
Yeah.
for sure. The craziest thing is, this is the first time that we met the mayor in person. We're friends on Facebook and so forth. And before we even went inside the Villa Fortuna, we start talking, and he says, "Oh, I have family that emigrated from Sicily to the United States." And I said, "Where in the United States?" "Massachusetts." "Really? Where in Massachusetts?" Guess what? Methuen and Lawrence. And he's from Lawrence. I'm from Andover. And you happen to know his whole family. Crazy.
Listen to this. My father's best friend, or one of his best friends, was named Nick Catalano. God rest his soul, he passed away in his 90s last year. And his wife's name was Rose. They are the Tio and Tia of the mayor. So we started talking about names. You know him, yeah. My cousin, him,
Nick,
yeah.
this,
So for
that.
20 minutes.
Catalano Market.
we
I
were-
used to frequent it.
We were talking about the
Family.
entire Scandura family, the Catalano family. He has been to the feast in Lawrence.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable how, Piccolo Mundo.
Piccolo
for real.
Mundo.
It's unbelievable.
Piccolo Mundo.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever do anything that was so embarrassing that you buried it in the back of your head? Because I'm going to tell you a story that I've never told, and this story goes back 55 years. When I was in high school, I wanted to go to Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire, one of the premier Ivy League schools. But I wasn't that smart. I was okay. I was basically a 2-0 and go type of guy, C's, B's, but I was a pretty good football player. Well, anyways, one day I get a letter from the football coach offering me to go to Dartmouth College. And I was like, out of my mind. A couple of weeks later, he wrote down, he says, listen, you have to go to an interview first. I says, okay. He says, some guy's going to call you. So, guy calls me up. He says, can you be around tomorrow at 7 o'clock? I said, sure. I remember I ran out. I bought, because I wanted to be a preppy. I went out. I bought myself a herringbone sport jacket, wingtip shoes, a beautiful white button-down shirt. I went and hawked for about $300, okay? This is 1967, so you can remember, right? So I was all excited. I'm going to go to Dartmouth College. I had my whole life planned out. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, shower, put on my English leather, my herringbone. I go to the guy's address at his house in Andover, Massachusetts. Exactly 1 minute before 7, I knock on the door. Guy answers in his bathrobe. I was like, what's going on over here? He says, yes, can I help you? I says, yes, I'm Alfred Zappa. I'm here for my interview. He said to me, and he had that look on his face of kind of like crapping all over me. He said, son, it's at 7 o'clock tonight. I shrank to about 1.5 inches, and I went away. So I never told anybody about this. As a matter of fact, a couple weeks later, my father said to me, hey, how did that interview go at Dartmouth? I says, I don't want to go to Dartmouth. I decided I'm going to go to BC. Boston College. Funny how life takes this little twist, isn't it?
Ciao amici americani.
Here's Francesco again. Remember him? We met him last week. He gave Alfred a cigar. He's a former Navy man, a diver. And
Come si chiama? Pesce spada e melenzane.
Oh.
Amici americani, adesso vi detto una semplice ricetta.
He says, I want to give you a recipe. And I said, of course, with swordfish and eggplant. Okay.
Ok, melenzana,
Eggplant,
pesce spada,
swordfish,
swordfish, and cipolla,
onions,
mentuccia, menta,
mint,
pinoli.
pine nuts.
Ok.
Okay, those are the ingredients.
Pomodoro.
Pomodoro fresco.
Pomodoro fresco.
Okay,
Piccadilly o ciliegino.
Piccadilly
o
is my
ciliegino.
favorite. Okay.
Soffriggere cipolla e melenzane.
Okay, so you have to fry the onions and the eggplant in a pan.
Ok.
Put it aside.
Poi mettere da parte. Soffriggere il pomodorino.
Fry the tomatoes.
Ok. Aggiungere sale and pepper.
Add salt and pepper.
Appena cotto, mettere tutto.
Once it's cooked, put everything together.
Ok. Mettere il pesce spada tagliato a tocchetti, a pezzettini.
And cut the pesce spada, the swordfish, into little pieces.
Fare amalgamare tutto, amalgamare.
Okay, let it cook a little bit together. Let the
Okay.
juices and the flavors meld together.
Aggiungere un bicchiere, one glass wine
White, okay.
appena asciugato.
Once it dries,
Ok.
put
preparare.
aside.
Scolare la pasta
Oh, dove la pine?
insieme al pomodoro, insieme al...
Okay, so we forgot the pine nuts, but you do the pine nuts with the tomatoes. And here's one hint that I would say. Put the pine nuts on the pan first and warm them up a little bit. It helps the flavors come up. And then you do the pasta separately.
Ok, scolare la pasta appena cotta, aggiungere tutto insieme alla pasta e
Oh, we're gonna have
portare
to try
a
this.
fine cottura.
Buono,
Okay.
and put mint at the top.
Ok, la menta un pochettino di sopra.
Put a little bit of mint. Finish. That, by the way, is one of our favorite dishes, the eggplant and the swordfish. We have that at one of the restaurants. What a treat. Grazie mille.
Prego.
You know, that recipe that Chichu had could also be made with tuna, but those simple ingredients, right? The tuna or the swordfish, then you have the onions, then you have the mint to garnish it, tomatoes, simplicity, delicious.
I have to say something, too. My coffee with anisette can be substituted as well with Jameson's Irish whiskey. I don't mind telling you, E.
What do you think is in this? What do you think it's this?
That's a little bit of whiskey.
Whiskey in
Whiskey,
my
it's
tea. I'm
whiskey.
having it with my tea. My grandfather always had once a day. He had a little tea and a little bit of whiskey. I have to tell you guys, it's gotten a little bit of cold here. It was unseasonably warm in December, and now it's getting a little bit cold. There's also reports that first time there's snow on the Madonia Mountains. Actually, that's a little bit late because usually there's snow over there. Madonia Mountains, by the way, are in the province of Palermo. I didn't see any reports of any snow on the Nebrodi, which is in the province of Messina. Of course, Etna, Mama Etna has had white hair for some weeks now.
You know,
So there's my weather report. It's chilly today.
It reminds me today
Yeah.
of that famous poem.
Which one?
Well, I only know one line of it, and it's when the frost is on the pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. I can't say the rest of it. We'll get censored by YouTube. But some of you out there know the rest of that poem.
We know what you're talking about. All right. We still have spots available on our June tour of the West Coast, which includes Alcamo Marina, Casalmare del Golfo, Palermo, Monreal, Scopello, Zingaro, Segesta, Shaka, and many other locations. And then we have spots open in our October tour, which is on the East Coast. Some of our favorites, of course, Catania, Taormina, also Giardini Naxos, Ortigia, Etna Villages, and Etna Tour, and many more places. All right, so Alfred and I, on a daily basis, have our morning meeting and so forth, and inevitably, what do you want to eat? I don't know, what do you want to eat? Or sometimes Alfred is very decisive, like when it comes to hamburger. But today, I have found something in one of the supermarkets. No, not lobster, because we did find lobster too, but another one of his favorites. What are we having for dinner?
We're having spare ribs that were made in England, not the United States, but
And
I've had them
comes
before.
with the barbecue sauce.
They're covered with barbecue sauce, and they're pre-cooked. So all you really have to do is heat them up for half an hour, and you eat them. So today I'm going to have spare ribs, which I'm really happy about.
Which is really unbelievable that we finally found barbecue spare ribs here in Sicily. I was looking at someone's post at Expats in Sicily, which, by the way, is a Facebook page that's open to anyone. And someone was saying, I just moved to Sicily in July, and I'm looking for a good Chinese or Thai place in Palermo. So I saw a bunch of people putting up that there are some new places. Oh, and then Anthony Campanella says, there's a new Mexican place outside of Catania. But I don't think I'm going to try.
You know, there's so much different varieties of foods here, and it's getting better and better and more
The
more
selection
common.
is wider and wider.
I mean, even the United States, that place, if you want a good cheeseburger and you're in San Giovanni La Punta, go to Enjoy Pub.
That's right.
It's a chain.
Okay,
it's very
don't
good.
judge us. We love Sicilian food. We really do. But there are just some things that we miss having here.
Esther, I want to give one final shout out to our good friend Afiutropia from Galveston, Texas. He's the one that originally put the bug in our ear about getting our Sicilian Project going in Acicastello, Acitrezza. So
Exactly.
Afiu, whatever good that my crew is going to do down there
Is dedicated.
is dedicated to you. And we love you very much.
Bedu, ciao, and thank you. And to all the Bedu and Bedas out there, thank you for spending this time with us. And of course, we'll see you on another episode of You, Me, and Sicily.
Se benediga. Grazie per tutti.
Ciao.